Jai Hind. Welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to discuss about the cyclone Taute. The cyclone Taute recently hit the India coast and it had developed in the Indian Ocean, in the North Indian Ocean. So today we will see about what does it mean, what was its trajectory, and what was its impact on the Indian coast and the other regions. Myself Vidyanand Singh, and do subscribe our channel and please press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. So let us start. So before we start, let's have discussed a question. So the local winds willy willies are blown in which of the following region? I will give you the answer of this question in the end. So stay connected with the video till the end and let us discuss about the Taute. So the name Taute was given by the Myanmar. So there is a process of naming the cyclones in every region. Every region there is the WMO which names the cyclone. WMO is the World Meteorological Organization, and the name Taute was given by Myanmar, suggested by Myanmar, and in the Burmese language. In Myanmar, the language used is the Burmese, and in Burmese language, the Taute means gecko. Gecko is a species of lizard that is highly vocal and makes a typical sound. So on that name, the name Taute was given to the cyclone. This was the first tropical cyclone of the year 2021 in the Indian Ocean, and here the naming is done by WMO, that is World Meteorological Organization, and its regional office that is located in the United Nations Economic and Social Commission of Asia and Pacific region. And it's the panel, there is a panel of WMO, that is the panel on the tropical cyclones, that is PTC. Don't think it about the police training center, it is PTC, panel on tropical cyclones. So here it names the tropical cyclones, and the name is suggested by the countries of the region, and every country is not entitled to name the cyclone. There is a panel of 13 countries. The panel is made from time to time and the countries are selected to give the name. So the name is assigned by the WMO while the names are suggested by the countries of the region. There are 13 countries in the panel, that is India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Maldives, Oman, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Iraq, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE and Yemen. So there are 13 countries and these 13 countries suggest 13 names. So total there is 169 names in the list. However, they do not provide the name to any cyclone, do not assign the name to any cyclone randomly. They make a chart and here they list the countries in alphabetical manner, and thereafter the names suggested by the countries, all the 13 names are here. Here is the list 1, that is encompassing the all the names by each country, and thereafter list 2, list 3 likewise. So they start with the list 1 naming the cyclone by the name suggested by the countries alphabetically, and thereafter they go to the list 2 when the list 1 is exhausted. So currently the list 1 is going on and it was the turn of name suggested by Myanmar. And what is the utility of this name assigning? So if we assign the name according to the names suggested or the technical names given by the meteorological organizations, then it will be very technical, like 280, 2084, whatever it is. So likewise there will be some technical names will be assigned to these cyclones, which will not be easy for the common people and the press related media houses etc. to recognize that cyclone. So they will not be able to recognize that for which cyclone they are saying which cyclone's trajectory is this and what are the circumstances in which it will hit the coast, what would be the disaster and what should be the relief measures that are being suggested by the World Meteorological Organization and the disaster management authorities. Because of this, we used to assign the cyclones with the name, and this name is easy for the people to recognize. Like if we release a news about the Taute, then clearly they will recognize that this is the cyclone which has developed on the western flank of the Indian Ocean, and this is going to hit the western coast of India, and what should be the measures, relief measures, and what should be the precautionary measures to reduce the casualties and reduce the harm from this cyclone. So this is the utility of assigning the name to the cyclone, and now we know how the cyclones are assigned the name. Now come to the Taukte. So Taukte developed here in the Lakshadweep region near Lakshadweep Islands, and it first started its movement towards a bit northeast direction. Thereafter it reached near to the western coast of India, and thereafter it started its northward trajectory. So because of this, what happened, it caused heavy downpour in the coastal regions of India, whether it was Kerala, whether it was Karnataka, whether it was Goa, whether it was Maharashtra. And thereafter on 18th of May, it hit the Gujarat coast, and here in Gujarat coast it caused wide devastation, and as well as it devastated the agriculture and the plantation crops as well as many structures, and caused wide floods in the whole coastal regions of India, and it caused around 15 centimeter of the rainfall in single day in the coastal regions of India. Here you can see that the annual average rainfall in India is around 110 to 120 centimeter. So this is the annual average. You can see here the annual average is 120 maximum, while there was 15 centimeter of the downpour in a single day. So this caused a wide devastation in the coastal regions, as well as the wind speed of a cyclone is very high. As the cyclone develops, its wind speed, the winds encircling the cyclone goes on increasing. So it reaches up to 250 kilometers. The wind speed ranges from 80 kilometers per hour to 250 kilometers per hour. So when it hit the coastal regions and it made the landfall in the Gujarat coast region, so it caused wide devastation. There were very high wind speed. It destroyed many structures, and it caused wide downpour. So whenever the cyclone develops, it collects the moisture, it receives the moisture from the sea surface, and because of this it is a very moist condition. And whenever the cyclone faces the updraft, that is the convection of the winds take place, it rises upward, and because of this what happens, there is adiabatic cooling of this moist airs, and because of this what happens, here above ground around the altitude of 8 to 10 kilometers there takes place the condensation, and because of this heavy clouds develop and they cause the heavy downpour. Now let us see the regions of the development of the tropical cyclones. So here the yellow region shows the regions where the tropical cyclones develop. So here you can see the tropical cyclones develop not at the equator, in the region of equator, that is 5 degree north and south of the equator. There is no development of cyclone. Cyclones develop in the subtropical region where the sea surface temperature is higher, as well as there is the availability of the Coriolis force. So what is Coriolis force? Coriolis force is an apparent force. It is not an actual force but an apparent force, due to which it appears that the winds, when winds are moving from north to south towards the equator in the northern hemisphere, they tend to move towards the right, while when the winds are moving from south to north towards the equator, they tend to move towards their left. So this is an apparent force, and it is created due to the rotation of the earth on its axis. In detail of the Coriolis force we will discuss in different video, on which I will provide it in the playlist of the geography, and as well as we will discuss about the cyclones in detail, and that will be also provided in the playlist of geography. So here you can see that the cyclones developed in the Indian Ocean, in the Western Pacific Ocean region, in the both northern and the southern hemisphere, while in the Eastern Pacific region it develops only in the northern hemisphere, and in the Atlantic Ocean also it develops only in the northern hemisphere, while it doesn't develops in the southern hemisphere. Here there is no development of cyclone, and this is because there is low sea surface temperature. For the development of cyclone there should be sea surface temperature of 27 degrees Celsius or above. Below this there is no development of tropical cyclones. This is because at above this temperature there is development of low pressure cells, and when the low pressure cells develop, there is convergence of surrounding airs towards this low pressure cell, and because of this what happens, as the winds converge towards the low pressure cell, there is apparent movement of the wind towards their left in the southern hemisphere and towards their right in the southern hemisphere, and because of this what happens, a circulatory motion of this wind develops, and this causes the development of cyclone. And also there is the continuous supply of the moist air from the sea surface, and because of this what happens, the cyclone gradually develops and its energy increases to such an extent that it becomes devastating. And because of this, whenever the cyclones make the landfall, they cause the wide devastation in the region. So this is the way of the cyclone development, and the movement of cyclone is always towards the west because of the rotation of the earth, and towards its right because of the Coriolis force in the northern hemisphere, and towards its left in the southern hemisphere. Now come to the question what we had discussed earlier. So this was the question, that the local winds willy blows in which of the following regions. So the correct answer is Australia. It is a dust storm, and it is also a low pressure cell which develops in the desert regions, that is the outback region of Australia, and it causes the wide devastation in the region because of the dust laden high speed winds. And these other regions are here, that is Italy where the local wind Sirocco blows, here is the USA where the local wind Chinook blows, and this is the Guinea coast where the local wind Harmattan or the Doctor blows. So this was our video on the cyclones. So stay connected and do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. And this is our Facebook and Instagram handle. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also join us on Telegram to get the videos, links, as well as the study material, and you can join various courses that are available on our website, that is www.computology.com. Thank you very much.